I saw this kind of glorious real life weirdo in Kate. After I'd announced it, before we even kind of finished writing it, I'd read some interview where Kate McKinnon had said one of her dreams was to be a Ghostbuster. And I love Kate so much, and I know her from SNL, and I've hung out with her at the after parties. And so I was like, oh, Kate could be perfect for this, especially this role that we're working on of this crazy scientist. And met with her, had her come in, and when she walked out of the room after our meeting, I was like, okay, she's going to be Ghostbuster. So then she was almost kind of the piece, and then it's like, well, let's start building from there.
The last couple of seasons of Saturday Night Live, I'm like, she's
oh my God,
on another planet.
Yeah. Seeing Kate is just like, I go, there's so many people in there, and there's so many possible characters we can play with this. And I didn't know. I kind of going in, I was like, well, maybe it's going to be this, maybe it's going to be that. But when she came in for her meeting, she was kind of like, I was like, well, how, if you were going to be in this, like, how would you want to play? And she just really loved the idea that she was going to be kind of like this sort of guyish kind of like, it was more through physical. It wasn't even the way she described it verbally. It was like she kind of sat with her legs apart. She put her foot up on the desk and kind of like, and I was like, that physicality was making me laugh. And I was suddenly going like, oh, there's a way to play this. But my takeaway from that was that Kate is such an individual who plays all these different characters, but her person is a very interesting person. My goal slowly became like, I want her to kind of play herself, and we'll bring in her different skills. And then when I hired her on, I had dinner with her one night just to kind of talk about stuff, and she was really grilling me about like, how do I do this? I've never done like a big role in a movie. And so I said, well, here's what we'll do. We'll like rent a room, and you'll just come up and we'll just kind of workshop it a little bit. And so she came up, and I taped all this. It does exist on tape somewhere. And I said, well, let's just read through the script. And so we're reading through, but what I'm realizing is Holtzman doesn't have that many lines. So it's something that's me acting out every role, and then she goes like, yes, and, or like, that's right. And so I'm like, okay, this isn't working. And then every line was such a one-off that she was like, putting a lot of mustard on the hot dog, as you will, and suddenly it's like, ha ha, and doing her crazy laughs as Jane Lynch, and then there's Hillary showing up. And I was like, okay, let's stop, because I don't think this is fair to you, because you're not getting a chance to spread your wings. So let's just sit down. I'm just going to interview you as Holtzman. Let's just say whoever we think Holtzman is, let's just talk. And I went at about an hour long of just asking her questions. So, where are you from originally? Oh, that's interesting. And she just kind of settled into this thing. Oh, yeah, well, I used to do this. And these crazy answers. I can't remember, but it is all on tape, so it does exist somewhere. And the answers were getting weirder and funnier and odder. But she was so committed to it, and she was so low-key about it, that I'm going like, there's Holtzman, and we found Holtzman. The irony is that as we were shooting, she would come up to me daily for a while, and then weekly, going like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what this character I'm playing is. I thought originally she was going to be Jane Lynch, and then I thought she was going to be this guy. And I said, I know, and I don't want you to do those. And what I'm seeing you do is perfect. And I'm making you kind of play yourself. And she's like, I don't know if I'm comfortable doing that. I said, well, you're going to have to be comfortable doing it, because that's what we're doing. And she started to really, look, she had already found the character. She just didn't realize she had found the character. And then she slowly started feeling it and enjoying the fact that she was actually playing something that was close to the bone for her. And it was really exciting to see her kind of become a movie actress and a movie star in front of my eyes.
Well, you talk about her, and it occurs to me that she is kind of the Harpo of the movie in some ways.
Yeah,
she has there's a lot of physicality that's not necessarily chatty.
Totally,
but she's there. She's very. I mean, all four of them are really more equal than you would expect in a way. Given the casting.
And it's interesting to say Harpo, because I always kind of behind the scenes was going like, she is our Harpo Marx, but she can talk. Yeah. And just the idea that I don't know that. Here's the thing with Kate is she'll just go off on something she's in the scene, but she also knows she's playing kind of the oddball, and so we're in the middle of it, and suddenly she'll just do something, and you're like, why did you do that? Like, it was completely like out of left field. But then I get back to the editing room and suddenly go like, that was brilliant, and I can take that and I can use that here, or I can move it somewhere else. And that was the fun. She's like an editor's dream.
Well, I saw stuff where she was like the third person in the frame and barely in the frame, and then she'd make a move, and you're like, you'd watch her doing it even though the conversation was over on the other side.
Oh, totally, totally.